Today's video is gonna be for the ISFJs. Why are you struggling and how to fix it? So the whole reason why I'm doing this series is because a lot of MBTI videos out there, at least the ones that I'm aware of, or anything that's related to the 16 personalities, is very much about the surface level of what the type is about, but it doesn't necessarily talk about why they are struggling and what are their blind spots or things that they need to be aware of in order to be a healthier version of their personality type. So an introduction about the ISFJ. They have a nickname, the nurse, the nurturer, sometimes the guardian. So ISFJs, they are loyal, they are supportive, they are empathetic, they are compassionate, they are sacrificial. This is on a surface level of their type, but if you study their cognitive function, which is what you should be focusing on if you're into MBTI, is understanding that because they are led by introverted sensing, which is their duty, loyalty, their preference for the past, it's what's important to them, but at the same time, because their second function is extroverted feeling, this means that they are always seeking harmony, they are socially responsible, they want the harmony of the people around them to be there, to be connected, and they can be sort of a social justice warrior if somebody acts inappropriately to a person that they care about. Well, this is for most types, but for them it's, are people behaving in the right way? So, extroverted feeling, if everybody is feeling good. So because they are driven by these two functions highly, this is how they come off as the nurturer, the caregiver, the loyal one. And at some point, people also stereotype or have these misconceptions about ISFJ as the one that you can easily push over, that you can easily get your way with. But we cannot ignore the fact that they are deeply caring. And this is one of the unique strengths of ISFJs. But this video is for ISFJs to understand their struggles better, what is really challenging them, what is keeping them stuck, and of course for them to discover their hidden potential. So let's talk about the 3 reasons why you are struggling. Reason number 1, you take care of everyone but yourself. Because of your cognitive function, you are wired to what others need. You anticipate, you give, you serve, and so people come to just rely on you, which is essentially what I've mentioned: introverted sensing, loyalty, following systems, knowing what has worked and going through the whole structure and making sure everybody feels good about it. But here's the truth: you're so busy focusing on everybody else, you actually neglect taking care of yourself, which is detrimental to keeping up with what your strength is able to give to the world. And you often neglect your needs completely because you feel that fulfilling others is what fulfills you, but this is far from the truth. Because you think this is a noble thing, I need to sacrifice, I have to sacrifice. Again, if you overuse your hero function, which is your introverted sensing, it's all about my duty, my duty, my duty. You will come a point in time where you're going to burn out and you are going to have resentment and probably microaggression or passive aggressiveness towards the people that you actually care about because you are human. Remember, serving others without boundaries becomes self-evident. So really consider if you're overdoing it. What are some signs that this is happening for you? It's pretty obvious, but I think it's worth bringing into awareness about this little signal that you could be overusing your first 2 function, is that you feel exhausted, but you still say yes to people. And you feel underappreciated, but you actually don't speak out. Like, you know you deserve a good effort, you deserve recognition, you deserve something out of this good thing that you're doing, but because people fail to notice, you will not fight for yourself. So deep down inside, you hope that someone will realize and then talk about it, but often you just get disappointed. Because you do so much for other people, you take care of them, you expect them to take care of you, but without you saying anything, right? So it's that unspoken expectation that leads to utter disappointment. Essentially, that's what I meant, is you have needs, but you don't voice out, which is very unfair to even the people that you care about. and even more unfair to yourself. Reason number 2, you confuse stability with suppression. You value peace, you value stability, you want things to be predictable. Again, your inferior function is extroverted intuition, which is exploration. You will rather not try the new or explore too much if you're already comfortable with what's working right now. And so sometimes because of that comfort and that cycle, you remain in that comfort zone and you do not go anywhere. And it's over time, you start to be a little bit delusional when things stop working and you don't want to change because you're afraid of the uncertain. So you would tolerate things that drains you. It could be a work, it could be your career, it could be your relationship, anything that is in life that you are just on a repeated basis because it's on a default mode, because you know that this is your duty, but that duty that you felt is also linked to you feeling stable. It's just what you perceive, but actually it's not helping you. So that's something that you need to discern. You avoid conflict when it's necessary in order for things to move forward, because you think that avoiding conflict is what makes you a better person, and often that is the opposite. Especially when things matter deeply, it is so essential for any MBTI type, no matter what type you are, to resolve conflict. You tolerate things that drains you, so you keep the smile on while your inner world is screaming for change. So again, just reminding you of your cognitive function. Extroverted feeling demands for harmony, introverted sensing demands for stability. So you see how this loop. If you overuse a certain function, you will see how the other function is going to manifest in ways that is unhealthy. So for example, if you overuse your hero function, let's say for INFJ, they overuse introverted intuition. They always think about their future, the narrow path, the specific way, the tunnel vision. They become very blindsided about the things that they want that may not be working for them. They ended up chasing things that is actually not worth it because they go through this sniper focus. There is good and bad, but if you overuse it, your inferior function is going to shout at you. And so that is when, for example, the INFJ, when they are too focused on their future, they suddenly feel this need of wanting to be at the present moment. They will just drop everything that they have planned, and then they just do whatever that they want that can seemingly look like it's unhealthy. Overindulge or underindulge in certain things. Your extroverted intuition will scream at you, and that is the time where you will start catastrophizing. You will start thinking about the worst. Hold on. So what are some signs that this is where you are stuck? It's you stay in jobs or relationships that feels familiar, feels comfortable, but you stay too long in it and it's not really helping you to get anywhere. This is especially true for ISFJ. You keep saying that you're fine, but actually you're not. And then you sometimes gaslight your own self. And that is when the irony is where ISFJs are very well versed with other people's emotion, but they do not know their own emotions, or they neglect their own emotions. So it's pretty hypocritical if you think about it. Okay, I don't mean to sound mean, but I think this truth is very much needed for all, so for the ISFJs, because at the end of the day, the intention is for us to be aware and then to develop ourselves. Then you feel trapped and you blame yourself for not being grateful. So this is that self-criticism. They think that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve the best, when in fact you actually do. It's just a matter of you don't know how to communicate or ask for it. So ask yourself, if you're stuck in this area, are you doing this because you want to, or because it's expected of you? So don't confuse thinking that it's always about doing what's expected of you. It's not helping you in a sense. So remember that it's yin and yang. Everything is about balance. And so if you overdo things for other people and you don't focus on yourself, your cup is always going to be empty, and you cannot sustain this part where you always keep other people's cup full. Practice some honest expression in safe spaces. So get someone out, have them talk one-to-one, write them a message. You don't have to deal with all this conflict in person, but sometimes through messages, through reflection, perhaps sign up for courses about enhancing your confidence, being more assertive. Is definitely going to help you to sharpen your third function, which is introverted thinking. So there is this side to ISFJs that is, seeking for the truth, and it's very precise with, they want to present their thinking. So if you only allow your first two functions to take place, you're not doing justice to your personality type. So I think journaling helps ISFJs a lot because they kind of can look back, because they like to keep memory of things, right? They can kind of look back and really reflect on a different perspective, on a different day. What do I feel about this thing that's happened before and how I journaled it, right? And so I think doing this kind of reflection and perhaps partnering with someone that has very different function than you is going to help you to become less focused on others and then really thinking for yourself. Reason number 3, you don't ask for help and then you actually feel alone. Because the truth is, you are the dependable one. You are the one that everybody comes to and asks for help and rely on. And therefore you think that because of this, it actually makes it even harder for you to ask other people for help. Because of this self-belief or this title that you've given yourself, right, that you are supposed to help everybody else. You are supposed to help everybody else, and that's your role, and you don't even consider the fact that sometimes it's okay for you to ask for help. If you rarely allow people to support you and you feel very uncomfortable asking people for help, this is really an area for you to focus on, because if you want to do good to others and yourself, to finding that balance, it starts here. It's not about being high maintenance or being low maintenance is a good thing, but just know that as human beings, we need each other in some sense. You don't have all the cognitive functions, you don't have all the abilities in the world, and therefore that harmony, that synchronicity with other people who are different from you, and letting them help you, being vulnerable and letting them teach you once in a while, or feel how it's like being helped, right? It's just going to help you do your part better. And I feel for you because you're constantly sacrificing yourself for others. And the amazing thing is you have a lot of people who appreciate you, but some reasons still disappoint you because you have certain expectations for people. If you look at the deeper parts of ISFJ, especially in their shadow, you have introverted feeling as your critique function. Essentially, in simple meaning, what it's suggesting is that you are very critical about how you feel about yourself, about how you live out to certain values, and you hold people to live out to certain values as well, and to be responsible for their feeling. And so you constantly walk around feeling like you are not good enough. And that's why you want to do the sacrificial thing, so that when you help people, you feel like you're good enough. In the long run, it's not going to help you. So know that there is the potential side of you where you are not just the caretaker. You can also be the person that gives the tough love, teaches people to take care of themselves. It's not about doing things for them. So some signs that this is on the red flag: you give more than you receive, and then you secretly feel bad about it. You cry in private, but you appear super composed in public. So you always have this mentality that no one is there for you, but the reality of the situation is you have never spoken about it and you have never asked for it. So I think if this is where you're struggling and you feel lonely and you feel like you're not your best self, it's really first is to reach out, be the one that asks for things, talk about your needs, so that you can do things better for others, and there is balance. Just remember that you're not weak for asking for support. And actually, another thing about ISFJ, sometimes it's not about them. I think they have no problems looking vulnerable. It's a matter of they feel like if they show their vulnerable side and they think that will make them look useless, they don't want to burden other people for taking care of them. It's that whole idea of, I don't want to put my burden on other people because it's not the right thing, because I want them to feel good. So you see how that, if you overdo it, can be something that is very unhealthy. There's always a win-win when it comes to relationship, when it comes to collaboration or connection. It takes both. It takes two to clap. So you cannot be the only one clap. So ISFJ, my heart goes out to you. Your heart is your power. But even the strongest heart needs to rest it deserves recognition, and it is allowed to ask for help, to talk about their needs. So just to summarize for you, set boundaries that protects you, not isolate you. So remember that. Boundaries are there to protect your energy for long-term investment. It's not about isolation and making others feel bad. Speak your truth even if it trembles. You have a very brilliant cognitive function in your third function, which is your introverted thinking. Often you know the truth, but you're afraid to speak of it. Sometimes the truth is needed in order for chaos to happen so that harmony can take place. Having good friendship, you need a bit of friction and conflict in order for things to be stronger together. There is no such relationship that is strong that has never gone through any tough time. So remember, when it's worth it, the tough time actually makes the bond even stronger. So your truth is needed, not just to be kept within yourself, but is to be revealed for the better of things. And let others take care of you the way that you want to take care of them. And make sure you communicate it. Be okay to receive, not just giving all the way. If you're watching this and thinking you really want to understand yourself better, and you want to know why you struggle, how to break your personality type's pattern, the loop, and how to develop yourself, heighten your self-awareness, but in a way that is customized or that fits your personality, let me know, because I do offer one-to-one consultation, and this is really a passion project of mine, because ever since I delved into depth psychology, understanding personality and psychology, I have regulated myself a lot. I think when it comes to emotional intelligence, I am in a place where I wanted to be a few years ago, and so there's progress, but I'm still work in progress. I'm still learning a lot, but I've also been very blessed with opportunities from people who connected with me online, in person. They know that this is my passion. I get to share my perspective, coach them, and see them progress, and that really fulfills me. And so if this is of interest to you, you want to get deep, personal, and understand things that is customized for you, let me know. I will link it in the description box below. You can also reach me on Instagram or TikTok, where there's more bite-sized contents. So yeah, if this is something that you're ready for, check out the link below. And if you have any comments, leave it to the video. It will help me to push the video out there to more and more people. I really want these videos to help people to perspective about their personality type and really be motivated, or at least be amped up to want to develop themselves, because that's the whole point of us wanting to understand our psyche and understand the deeper parts of ourselves. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!